Rock 95, it is Spence doing some bonus duty this morning, and such a pleasure to be talking with Scott Stapp. How are you?
How you doing, man? Doing well, thank you.
Well, we're excited because you're going to be invading our little town of Mankato for Rib Fest a week from today.
I am excited. It's good. It'll be my second show since COVID, as long as everything goes good, coming up here August 4th. So excited to be back on stage and playing in front of an audience.
And oh my God, I mean, COVID just killed everything. And you had great momentum going into that. We'll talk about your solo album that came out, I can't believe 2 years ago already. But boy, you bring your feedback, Rib Fest. It's going to be packed with all kinds of people ready to have some fun with you guys. And we look forward to seeing you live here in Mankato.
We are ready to rock it, man. We're gonna be bringing all the Creed hits as well as songs off the Space Between the Shadows. So it's going to be an exciting night.
Well, I can't wait. Now, what kind of players do you have in the band? Similar to the one that recorded your solo album, or a different touring band? Who are you bringing with you?
I've been with these guys going on 6 years. So we're tight, high energy, and it's my solo band. So we're excited about getting back out and playing, man.
I tell you what, if people haven't heard that, and I can't believe it came out 2 years ago, The Space Between the Shadows, that album, Scott, is just beginning to end absolutely terrific.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that. I can't believe it's been 2 years. I can't believe it's been 2 years either. But it was very well received, and I was excited to dig in with that record and really reconnect with my roots in a lot of ways, but also bring the sound forward. And so it was a very positive experience. And then the brakes got put on with COVID.
You kind of don't have a filter when you're writing. It's whatever you're feeling kind of comes out. And tell me about a couple of the songs. And I want to talk more about a couple of the ones that I think are really absolutely fantastic and personal to me in a second. But I love Name. I think that was the first release from that solo album. And is that about someone in your life that left you, a father that left you? I don't know entirely about your past history, but tell me about the track Name.
That was a song that I wrote with a buddy of mine and a gentleman who co-produced my record, Scott Stevens, and he and I were sharing stories together in the studio about our childhood, and a mutual connection came up concerning both of us, having a bad experience with our fathers. Mine left when I was young, and the song just came about from there. And so, I've always been one to write about real life, personal experiences, as well as my observations in the world around me. And that's just, how it flows. And the same with Scott. So we connected on that vibe, and the song was born.
A chance for, I suppose, you to heal a little bit, and a listener who maybe went through the same thing can also do the same thing and heal a little bit and move forward in their life.
Absolutely. I think it deals with an issue of abandonment, and we all experience those emotions on some level in our life, I believe. And so anything, I felt that I could share that could inspire somebody else and us connect is what I try to do with all my songs, and in particular with that one.
There's a similar vein with Purpose for Pain. And we're going to play that here in just a minute. And that's a pretty heavy track too, but pretty intense about surviving an abusive situation as well with that particular song.
Well, that song, I think, is just about adversity and overcoming adversity. We all, I think, quantify pain differently, but I think pain for me meant battles with addictions in my past, and depression, and learning how to fight those and overcome those, and then using that experience that I gained from going through that in helping somebody else, and kind of paying, me getting through that and what I learned forward. And so, it was kind of just approaching that concept of, let's not maintain victim mentalities. Let's look at these life experiences that we have, and realize that there's a purpose behind everything we go through. And I found that if I had that mindset as I was going through that experience in my life, it gave me internal motivation and encouragement to keep fighting until I got to the other side. And so that's what that song was all about. And I love to rock, man. And I love big, heavy riffs. And a friend of mine from another band called Escape the Fate, his name is Kevin Thrasher. We were jamming, and then he sent me that riff after we had gotten together and said, "What do you think of this one?" And I was like, "Love it." And then this, flew out to LA and the song was born. And so again, man, just this record was very, I think, me kind of just beginning to come out of the other side of a tumultuous 10 years of my life, that was very public. There's no secret. And then finding that there was so much that I had learned through it all that I could share with somebody else through what I love to do, and that's rock and roll music.
I think this is most likely the first time that you could, get out and promote this record, because right after it came out, we rolled into COVID and we lost a good year or so, haven't we?
I sure did. I sure did lose a year of promotion. I had a year of touring and promoting to back up the record. And unfortunately, that's life. And so we learned and figured out alternative ways to continue to share our music and try to connect with people through social media, through online performances. So if people are out there and they want to see what I've been up to, for the last 7 years. They can check me out at my Instagram, my Facebook, my Twitter, scottstapp.com. And so, we did online performances and really just tried to, do the best with what we could in getting our music out there. And a lot of people responded.
I tell you what, one of the other songs on that album, The Space Between the Shadows, when I was listening to that album, and it came across that, and I listened to it about 3 times in a row. Excuse me, I get a little choked up because it's gone too soon. And when you hear that and you listen to it, I'm like, and I had to listen to it about 2 or 3 times in a row because I just gone through some things and lost somebody in my life. And tell me about that track and what was maybe the person in your life that you maybe wrote the song about?
At the time, we were coming off the heels of Chester Bennington, losing him on and so I went to the studio that day to write with some buddies of mine, Blair Daly and Zach Malloy. And we began discussing this and how it was affecting us emotionally in that moment, losing someone so significant in our industry, and also just reconnecting with people that we had lost earlier in our lives, and one being my grandfather. And so feeling those emotions, we just began to write and create, and that song was born and recorded right there. The album vocals that were used on the record were the initial recordings as the song was being written. And so we just captured the feeling and the vibe. And that song has really resonated with people that have experienced loss. And that was exactly, what we were feeling and what we were trying to do. Connect with people through that experience.
Well, it certainly does. Now we're talking with Scott Stapp. He's going to be in town a week from today as a part of Ribfest in Mankato, and it's still got to feel good to be on stage and have all these people out there want to hear some of that Creed stuff too, which you started out with, in the 90s, for crying out loud.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And I love those songs that I wrote with Mark. I still connect with them. I still feel them. They're my story. From a lyrical perspective, and so it's always fun to play those. The fans know them, the interaction with the crowd, and I'll never stop playing those songs. They're a part of my journey and my story, and they come with me everywhere I go. Well,
Scott, thank you so much for your time. We look forward to seeing you again 1 week from today.
Yes,
in Mankato, and have safe travels. And we can't wait to see you and wish you all the best. And we're going to get loud. And I tell you what, your band is terrific. I can't wait to see you next week.
Oh, thank you so much, man. We can't wait to get there. Appreciate it.
Now, you're all over the place on social media. I think you have your own website as well, correct?
Yeah, I'm on Scott Stapp at Instagram, Scott Stapp Facebook, Scott Stapp Twitter, scottstapp.com. So check it out.
Just like that. Easy to Google and find you everywhere.
Been blessed, man. Thank you.
Thank you, Scott. Let's do this. This came out, God, I can't believe it's 2 years ago. Let's do Purpose for Pain. Again, thank you, Scott.
Hey, thank you, man. We'll see you soon.